Hello, everybody. My name is Mahael Abdul-Qawi. I'm the founder and representative of the Accountability Party for Human Rights, a political vanguard organization comprised of individuals who have chosen the path of self-awareness and self-understanding to become something more for themselves, for their loved ones, friends, family, and then at large, hopefully, for the communities around them. In this video, I want to talk about something that has come up on my radar a few times this past week. The retirement of one of the Supreme Court members who was majority conservative, Republican leaning, is retiring. And apparently our current president, Joe Biden, is set to appoint an Afro American woman in the position, Democratic left Afro American woman. And there's even rumblings of maybe shifting Kamala Harris, the already incapable vice president, from her position as vice president over to being one of the members of the Supreme Court, which I don't know if Biden has paid attention to her track records in law when she was in California, but let's just say her track record isn't the best. Besides her working with Silicon Valley lobbyists, but for her to convict people of the same race that she so proudly claims when it's necessary, to lock them away for cannabis charges and to laugh about it. She may have a few wins that people will defend her for, but overall, her track run in law has been questionable at best. I'll give it that. So the fact that I don't want to talk about specifically about Kamala Harris, because maybe transitioning over to Supreme Court, what I want to talk about is the fact that Biden, during his campaign run for presidency, has said that he is looking to elect an Afro-American woman into the position. And this is something that, now that there is an open seat, people are holding him accountable for it. But here's my thing about holding him accountable to this. We're holding him accountable. We're holding him accountable to the most pandering issues, the most pandering of campaign policies to stick by. Who the hell cares if the position is filled with an Afro-American woman? Tell me, what does her race qualify for her morale, for her experience, for her education, for the talent that she could bring to the role that is eventually going to play a part in anything that is passed that governs the American people's way of life? What does her race determine? And the reason why I want to talk about this is because this is a common thing that is being used, especially by the left and by the Democrats, with this pandering politics. And it really started to rise towards it started with Bill Clinton, and then it took more shape with Obama, of course, being the first black president, being that everybody assumed that because he's the first black president, he is going to represent the fighting working class people who the mascot for the working class people is Afro-American. So we thought that he was going to do something, and that was, and still to this day, the biggest pandering tactic used by the Democrats, using this man who, all in all, is a con artist, a very good con artist. I'll give Obama that. But we have it now with this, where in this current climate of our culture and politics, we are doing this pandering where it's, to be diverse, yes, you do want to see a spectrum, a rainbow of people, of ideals, of beliefs, faiths, race, sexualities. Yes, that is something though that as humans progress, that should be the case. And in 2022, it should already be the case. We know the reasons why it's not, but that should be. Again, I agree with that. But to say that that is the determining factor, no. Why are we just going to randomly pick somebody out of the hat, out of the black woman hat, and just be like, yeah, this person is now going to be in the Supreme Court? Or we're not going to look at their resume. We're not going to look at their qualifications, their moral compass. We're not going to check if this person is fit to pass laws that can govern 333 plus million people. Because again, we've seen that there are Afro American people, there are Hispanic American, Latino American, there are Asian American, there are minority people who are capable of being evil, who are more than capable of backstabbing not only their people, but just human races in general. Evil is not specific to just one race or belief. And I know the narrative, again, to gather votes is to paint white as evil, old white as evil. And yes, of course, trust me, I'm observant. A lot of evil in America is old and white. But if you look at the bigger narrative, you also see that there have been also Native Americans, Afro Americans, Latino Americans, Asian Americans, who have also committed acts against humanity. And the more we keep pandering to these politics, the more we're going to have people in position who are incapable of governing, of dictating what the rest of a country should be able to do with their time and with their livelihood. And you see how this has this snowball effect. Because you have people who are incapable, people who shouldn't be in these positions leading, who are now governing. They're setting the policies for us. They don't know us. They don't know how we live. Just because a person is black doesn't mean she speaks for every black person in America. Because not every black person in America is a Democrat. Not every black person in America might like this lady. The same way not every black person in America likes Kamala Harris. Stop simplifying and reducing people's, I know we can group people based off of general things like habits and religions. Yes, there are categories that can fit large sums of people. But we can't deny that everybody has experiences that sway where they go. And we can't deny that. So to assume that every black person in America is going to be okay with this person, or that we should, and the fact that there are Afro Americans who are so proud of this without even bringing up the fact that, hey, maybe there's somebody in Jersey that's part of the local city council who is much more equipped for the job, and she could be in the middle with her beliefs. We don't know, or she could be Democrat, whatever the hell it may be. She could be more qualified. But no, we're going based off people who are handpicked by this agenda, but also handpicked to fit this pandering narrative. So it's killing two birds with one stone. It's people who would not question what is passed, who would not really fight for anything substantial for the people. But you're also fitting this pandering agenda that makes everybody quote unquote happy. It's the same reason why companies like Disney keep with every new live action, they're trying to throw more diversity in it. Oh, we have a character that's gay, but he's in the scene for 5 minutes. So is it really diversity, or are you just trying to hit a checkpoint and get people excited? The new Little Mermaid is black. Why take a story of the Little Mermaid and make her black? Why not just make a new character who is as equally as dope? And sorry, in my opinion, fuck the Little Mermaid. You can make a black character. How about an African princess or a Caribbean princess that is so much more doper than Ariel from the fucking Little Mermaid? Stop pandering to people, man. Let it happen naturally, because if it happens naturally, it feels more authentic and it feels like, yes, this is earned. But when you force it into things that are just, people have a sixth sense for fake. Even when we live in a matrix, we still sense it. Now, whether you choose to act on that fakeness is up to you. That's your choice. But you can't take that choice within people and just throw this manufactured narrative down their throat and not think that they're going to call it out. You have to call it out culturally and politically, because it's all hand in hand. And the more hand in hand it gets, the more bigger the influence becomes. And inshallah, we can hold people accountable to actual policies instead of pandering cultural politics. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. But I know he's going to find somebody. It's going to be a big hoorah. And then come to 3 to 4, 5, 6 months, we're going to see that she's incapable, because there's going to be a moment that comes up, of course, that shows that this person's incapable regardless of her skin color. And it may not be in 6 months, but maybe during his presidency. And you know what they say? The difference between a conspiracy, between these kind of videos that I'm doing, where people may be like, oh, no, you're talking crazy, in reality, it's just 6 months. That's all it is.